Hi, who am I speaking with?
Molly,
Sally?
how can I help you?
My name is Angela Cook, and I received a notice of warrant for my arrest.
Okay.
Uh, I received a call from Officer Carr, K-A-U-R. You may be aware of it because I did an email blitz to follow up. She said she was going to do a thorough investigation. That thorough investigation was based on one person who called you to investigate me, and I suggested the investigation needs to be with the person that called you. Now I've received, dated April 21st, I live in Maine, I've received a notice of warrant for my arrest.
Okay.
So logistically, reading what you would like me to do for your investigation, which was not thorough, which Officer Carr said she was going to do, you want me to go to your police station in Delaware. That's what you want?
That's who holds the warrant, yes.
I don't understand what you're saying. You said it's for whoever holds the warrant?
No, that's who holds the warrant, so that's where the warrant's out of. So you would respond to our headquarters to turn yourself in, yes ma'am.
This is based on someone calling you, and
I don't know anything about the investigation or what's been concluded, but there is a warrant and you will turn yourself in, and then when you do, you'll get a court date to go in front of the judge.
Okay. Well, I think I have a better idea. I think I'm just going to move.
Okay, well have a good day, all right?
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh, hold on. There must be someone else I can talk to. You know, that's not very honest, Rich wrote. I'm just saying, every time you lean on a man, you are defaming and deframing a woman to be thiefant. And, you know, you were not in a very good position. You don't have to fess up that you weren't happy, and neither was Sharon, but you're passing on your blight. Obviously, I care. I care that I'm rig height so that you can be rig height. And if you're going to just keep penalizing me for existing because you care about your B-ride as your bide, which you're also subjugating your wife to, you know what? You can have it your way. But this is, there's nothing nice or honest about this gesture. You stand among men in a framework and fretwork, legally abiding in the patriarchy of a male God in Christ, and not one of you are producing value in height. Cite the H on the line, given time at the same time. So now I've got a notice for my arrest, and I have to go to Delaware. Or let me see, what else is it? My driving privileges will be suspended. But let's see, could that be in Delaware? Great, we just don't cross the bridge to Delaware. Oh, license will be suspended in my home state. Yeah, you know, basically, I'm doing your work because you are doffed, but you want to appear toffed. In the same container, you pass a doffed. Sally. That's great. Let's take up a considerable amount of my time, is what it says, to process this warrant. Time I've already given, and no one will be present.
County Police Court.
Hi, who am I speaking with? Corporal, I'm sorry. I'm not from your state, so the syllables don't really, they don't have clarity for me. Can you spell that for me?
C-A-M-I-L-L-I. How can I help you?
C-A-M-I-L-L-Y. Okay, great. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Angela Cook, and I have received a notice of warrant for my arrest by a person who I feel malfeasantly called the police to investigate me. I do not live in Delaware, and it's not my intention to visit the opportunity for malfeasance again. But can you tell me who I can talk to?
You're saying you have a warrant for you?
Yes, well, it started with Officer Carr, K-A-U-R, who called me, who said that someone called her and she was going to do a thorough investigation. And my thorough investigation was to go and investigate the person, Rich Rote, that placed the call.
Okay, hold on one second. What is your last name?
Cook, C-O-O-K.
And your first name?
Angela.
What's your birthday?
My birthday is... Hold on. Secret information. My birthday is 9/20.
Where are you, in Maine?
Yes, I am in Maine.
Okay. So, what are you asking?
Well, I get that your investigation wasn't thorough. I also get that I'm being penalized by someone's word who is the guilty party in this, but I am bungled up in your system now, which would portend to further penalizing me for just existing. So what I want to know, is there someone I can talk to nullify me having to, as you say, go back to Delaware and then select a court date, which would mean I would have to travel back to Maine and travel back to Delaware again? What if I just give you my word and you can penalize me if I break it, that I will never go back to Delaware? Not to be hospitable, but it really is not what I'm looking for. And since I know that, so be it. I know that, trying to be present among the ill-willed is going to produce the same opportunity to be drop-kicked into your legal grill. Okay, yes.
I don't know when he's in. Let me send you up to the detective unit.
Okay.
And you can see if he's up there, and they can tell you when he'll be in. That's who you need to talk to.
So that's the person who did the investigation. It wasn't Officer Carr who called me and said it was going to be thorough, and it wasn't.
Detective Smith is the one that issued the warrant.
Okay.
That's whose case it became.
So that's who I need. Okay, he issued the warrant. Okay, very good.
All right, hold on. Criminal Investigations, Detective Savantino.
Did you say Santino?
That's close, Detective Savantino.
Can you spell the last name for me?
My last name?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. It's D-I-S-A-B-A-T-I-N-O.
D-I-S-I-B-A-N-T-N-O?
That's not even close, but let's try it again.
Okay, great.
It's D-I-S-D-B-A.
D-I-S-D-B-A.
What can I help you with? Right? Get past the deep spelling.
Well, no. I'm writing this down as we're speaking, and
Okay.
you've got an accent. I'm not from Delaware. It doesn't lend a lot of clarity when you just roll it off your mouth.
What can I help you with?
Well, okay, detective. I'm trying to get your name first. Can you spell it one letter at a time?
Sure. It's D-I-S-A-B-A-T-I-N-O.
Something Italian, perhaps?
It is.
Okay. My name is Angela Cook, and
Hi, Angela.
how are you?
See, much simpler than the 70s, Angela. So
What's that?
Angela is much simpler.
And so is the cook. We've got monosyllables down here.
I know. What can I help you with? What's going on?
Hey, I have spoken with Sally and Corporal Camilli, and
Okay.
he has referred me to Detective Smith, and he's giving me this number. And is Detective Smith available?
Detective Smith is available.
Okay, can I please speak to him?
Okay, just future reference. Next time, just call and ask for Detective Smith.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We just wasted about 5 minutes of each other's time though, trying to get my name spelled.
You know what? I didn't think it was a waste of time, though. Do you?
Absolutely. You could have just said Detective Smith, but that's okay.
I'm just warming up to Detective
That's okay.
Smith.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'll transfer you.
Okay.
Investigation Smith.
Hi. I take this as Detective Smith.
Yes.
This is Angela Cook. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Very good. Hey, I've just gone through several people in your organization to get to you, and I'm calling about a notice of warrant for my arrest, which I understand that you are the person behind it, so you're the person I need to talk to.
Okay.
I sent an email to several people in your organization and beyond based on my conversation with Officer Carr, K-A-U-R, who called me and said she was going to do a thorough investigation based off of Rich Roat, R-O-A-T, and Delaware, and she did not do a thorough investigation, and that was the first prompt of my email, to investigate the person that called you, because I feel they're calling malfeasantly. Now, I see that this was dated April 21st, and it just arrived in my mailbox 5 days later, 4 or 5 days later. So here's the thing I can read. It says notice of warrant for your arrest, and then I need to go back to Delaware, and then I understand the process is that I'll be given a court date, which means I have to go back to Maine, to go back to Delaware, to come back to Maine. From my perspective, I see this as malfeasant. Someone called on you, anyone can lie on another one, and you see it through to purse for you. At the very least, you're in business to take someone's word and not really to regard its theory, okay? And in the process, I am penalized. What I'm trying to get at is I recognize your position. You get to pass on the penalty as you make money. What I want to know, I live in Maine. This is a very long commute for your gesture of not really investigating thoroughly on your end to begin with. I want to know if there's some way we can alleviate your penance that you feel I need to pay to be present, when I am quick to regard that I'm serving this penance because I was already present in time to complete and not compete and make shit up and malfeasantly employ someone in my behalf. So what I'm suggesting, if it's at all possible in your paperwork, if I agree never to go back to Delaware, can you drop this so I don't have to go to your court and come back, and go to your police station first and come back, and then go to your court and come back and explain the same thing, which is really putting me out when I've already explained my time. And FYI, I'm sure you're aware, if you're a detective, that when Officer Carr called, that was recorded. We're live broadcasting now, and this is going to serve as another video of my experience of crossing the Delaware and being present.
Okay. So your question is, can we drop the charges if you promise never to come back to Delaware?
Well, it seems to me, since you've already elicited the paperwork and the trail that has your name on it as if it was nailed to my tail, that the only thing that I can do to retort on, if you're asking me, unmitigated malfeasance, is to provide you a course that you feel is equitable for standing in regard to what you feel is a temple in your head and what you would represent. So I'm asking you, as the best compromise I could come up with for both my time and your time, but honestly, mostly my time, because I've given time and it's not regarded on your end, and I already know that, and it's not regarded by the person that called you to stand in behalf of him. What is there something that we can compromise where if I tell you, and you could hold me to it, I will never go back to Delaware, and if I do, throw me in jail and do whatever. But
unfortunately, that's not a decision that I'm able to do.
Of course, once you put this,
that would have to be worked out when you did get your court date, as you were talking about before.
You can't be serious. So I have to go back to.
That's the way it works. I don't have the authority to just say, okay, we can drop this.
So you
promise to come back. That would be something that a judge could possibly do.
I do not understand. You are acting as a judge by passing on this word. You did not investigate. And then you're telling me you do not have the accountability for your word and for your action that you get paid to mitigate. And then you get to further penalize me for paying titular caring that has already drop-kicked your awareness far from your own state of being. Or that you don't have to care because you've got other work to repair there. So is there a process where I can speak to the judge from here?
You have to call the court to do that. I don't know if they might be able to accommodate you, but I'm not certain of that.
Well, what is the court and who do I speak to?
That'll be Newcastle County Court of Common Pleas.
Newcastle County Court of what?
Common Pleas.
Common Pleas, or is that police?
Pleas. P-L-E-A-S.
Okay, who do I speak to?
There hasn't been a judge assigned yet, so you'd have to talk to probably somebody who can get you in touch with the judge.
So I need to talk to someone at the court, and they're going to put me in touch with the judge that they don't know who it is.
Yeah, the judge has not been assigned to the case yet.
Of course.
Because you haven't not been arraigned, so therefore there would not be a judge assigned.
Would not been arraigned. Gosh, I forgot my hyphenated D-E-D in this process. So what is the phone number for Newcastle County Court of Common Pleas?
Give me a second, I'll find out for you.
So, and let me ask you, why did you pass this on without any investigation?
There was an investigation done.
The investigation was not done on my end.
Okay, you spoke with Officer Carr already, correct?
Yes, and when in her verbiage, she said she was calling me to do a thorough investigation. So I suggested the thorough investigation should be the other way. Even. Now that you never got back to me on, so why is not Rich wrote with harassment? Or do I need to go to court and place one?
Well, it would have to be court. And yes, you could place anything you want in your jurisdiction. But again, I think Officer Carr told you that if there was charges that need to be brought in your jurisdiction, that'd be something you'd have to do up in Portland, Maine.
So I can place a harassment order on Rich Road, and he has to go to our court in Portland, Maine?
Not necessarily. You can file a police report in Portland, Maine if there is some crime that you believe has happened to you in Portland, Maine.
Well, you're the crime for passing it on, not investigating it, as you said you would. Officer Carr then passed it to you, then you passed it on without any accountability. I'm saying the investigation didn't happen, and it didn't happen two ways, and you didn't investigate the person that was lying in the first place. And
okay,
now
again, that's something that you could address at a court hearing.
Why am I being held accountable to you passing on malfeasance? You had an opportunity to investigate. I was told you were going to investigate. When you called Officer Carr, I said, this needs to be investigated both ways. This person is lying. Did you receive my email? Because I will send it to you, and you can check my website of all the people I've sent it to already.
Right. I did get your email.
You did. I suspect so. It does stand out.
Okay.
So when did you get my you got my email, and you decided to hold me accountable to harassment by your standards that I deserve to be competed upon.
And that's why you have a right to face your accuser.
But my accuser won't be present. You now are my accuser because you justified his intent with no one present.
Okay, well, I'll be present.
You've already told me that your actions already speak for your welfare.
Now, it speaks for my investigation.
So,
well, before I talk to you.
You did an investigation. You never talked to me.
Okay. Yes, Officer Carr had already talked to you, correct?
So you did, and then you did an investigation with Rich Rowe.
Correct.
But then you didn't do an investigation with me.
So, this is why you're able to have your voice heard and your opinion heard.
No. This is why I'm not getting it heard. It should have been heard with the first person I was present with to observe. This shouldn't have been drop kicked.
I'm sorry?
This shouldn't have been drop kicked from one person to another person. You're penalizing me constantly for being present, and you're passing around a lie through compartmentalized dysfunction. And you're calling that reason for injunction and conjunction.
Okay. Well, bottom line is, this is why you would have a court hearing, so you could bring any evidence that you would have and have your voice heard. That's why we have court hearings.
No, you don't. You would have a court hearing courting one person with another one if you parted with your desire as reason in life, understanding what is necessary, not fiddle-faddling the facts of going to a job where you make no money, you make no presence for money, leveraging appeal with no one among you that cares to be real. And I'm talking R-E-A-L, not R-E-E-L.
Sorry, what?
Did you just cough, or are you trying to stifle a laugh?
No,
I said for real, R-E-A-L versus R-E-E-L, in the sense, I apparently need to inform you that your law is based on the patriarchy, the male patriarchy of the God, and when you go to court, as you know yourself, you're asked to swear upon the Bible and that the law is for the people under God. Well, I'm saying that's a grand farce because you killed your heir, and there's not one man among you to repair. Here, H-E-R-E, thus, your court, right here, is already in contempt of court. You do not desire, you just care to look like the image of desire so you can get laid without extending any real effort to be made. Among other things, so relationships that accord themselves through the law are hyphenated. T-he-F-E-N-D. H-I-E means to go quickly. T is time. Time for competition if it has a hyphen with it. Fen to the marsh. D is date. Go quickly to the marsh of I don't know, I don't care, I don't have to, and I don't want to. That's what you stand for, Detective Smith. What's your first name?
My name is Detective Smith. That's all you need to know.
For future reference,
you got to go through the court to do that.
No.
Number?
Yeah, well, yes, I need the court's number.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Area code 302.
302.
255.
So it's 302-255?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got
0900.
it. 0900. Okay, what else?
That's it. That's the number.
To reach you, so you did not do an investigation with me. Why not?
Something again, you have to bring up the court. So we're now going around in a circle.
No, we're not going around in a circle, except that you made it a fictional circle. I was told that when Officer Carr called, there's going to be a thorough investigation. I suggest to work it the other way, and what I get from you is a circle that you made up because you never did an investigation with me in person. So I want to know what you came up with when you didn't actually investigate me, nor extend any energy except to say, fictionally, through your facility and organization associations, that you would, but you didn't.
Okay, ma'am. A warrant was signed for your arrest, which was brought before a judge, and there was probable cause in there. The judge decided there was enough probable cause to sign a warrant for your arrest.
So you're saying, but there's no judge arraigned, so how did a judge sign it?
The judge signed your warrant. You haven't been arraigned, correct?
So
the warrant was signed by a judge. I mean,
what judge?
Investigation brought forth our probable cause that we had. They felt there was enough probable cause to believe that you are guilty of harassment.
I'm guilty of harassment. That's funny. I mean, well worded in your behalf. Then let me ask you this. Who was the judge that determined probable cause and that I should have a warrant for my arrest due to harassment of being present?
Hold on one second. Let me find out for you.
Judge Horn, as in H.
Yes, Horn.
like a t-he-t-h-o-r-n.
Like a robot.
What's Judge's first name?
Doesn't say. It just says Judge Horn.
You guys just go by your last names there, huh?
Yes, we do. And there's a reason for that.
I'm sure there's a fictional reason as much as your last name. You can hold and withhold and give. I get it. It's the same fiction. Okay, so what you're suggesting is I need to call Castle County Court and ask to speak to a judge that isn't arraigned, but I have to talk to someone, to find someone to talk to about the possibility of not going back and forth to Delaware when you're a long ways away.
Yes, I understand that.
I don't think you really understand, because you're kind of passing the hyphen the buck, to not actually feel what it is like to be on the other end of your fiction. That you're earning a living for a reason, even, and this has never happened. And it's considerable excess to think that you give an honest shit where you sit in largesse.
Well, ma'am, all I can tell you is I've explained to you now how you can go about trying. I don't know if they will do it or not, but trying to get in front of a judge in Maine, therefore, possibly not having to come down here to Delaware.
So I have to get in front of a judge in Maine?
Well, you have to talk to a judge.
I don't.
Delaware.
You're saying I have to
talk to a judge from Delaware and see if they can work something out. I don't know the answer to that.
You're confusing me. You're saying I need to talk to a judge in Maine to talk to a judge in Delaware.
You're going to have to talk to a judge in Delaware to find out if they're going to work something out so you don't have to come back to Delaware.
Okay, great. I thought you said something about Maine and I just didn't understand.
No,
I don't understand the liberal gesture of adding on to stuff that's already made up, that it just can go all over the place. I mean, I know the sliding scale of throwing a frisbee with your dog, but your dog wasn't off leash at large. You're playing frisbee with it. It can end up from anywhere from 35, 75 to 89, depending on who's talking. That much I know about the law and judging in Maine and people that work at the law. That things could just be made up all over the place to redeem anything you want. That much I know.
I'm not familiar with Maine's laws.
Oh, it's a lot like your own. That's why it works state to state. All you have to do is work in your little office, tool the fiction that you think you relate because you write and you get paid to stay in place, yet you never have to think of follow through, even to all the way through. So innocence and reflection can be achieved rather than passing it doffed. And that way you keep your stability and you get to keep your sense of amour, of a love that you have provided, safe harbor and arbor, undivided by thieves, because you didn't bring anyone innocent with ye. Just saying, it's pretty obvious from where I am that you're fiction and you're a thief, and you don't mind that because it gives you stability. But I want you to understand on my end, when you pass a doffed because you're not in a position to follow through and you don't have to, you are penalizing what would be a value among you, and you make it go amiss. You make it misapplied, misaligned, fictionalized, and marginalized while you're having a good and go odd time, thinking you're keeping the place safe for hyphenated provision thief end.
Okay. All right. Is there anything can help you with today, ma'am?
Well, I don't know. Let me think about this.
Because I think I've answered all of your questions.
Oh, well, you know, I've got plenty of questions. The point is, you've answered to your capacity. I can predict what your answer is based upon your trajectory in time you've already lent. So let's not think that you're the container to my misspent or missent. You can't track with me because you don't want to be present. And this is the same problem. You keep passing song and dong on. It's hyphenated. And I, for one, would like you to look at yourself and see what you can honestly become if you do not allow honesty in some, and someone, and some met T. O-N-E. Some meta tone, atone, one-on-one, evenly, through your Tao, through yourself, through what you sell and what you tell. S-T-E-L-L. S, parentheses, T-E-L-L. S-T-E, the saint. Stop defacing God. You wouldn't give a mate clearly to date. Personally, Detective Smith, I'm doing my own investigation. And in my eyes and esteem, you're not courting even, and you're already in contempt of court before you get H-E-R-E. H is hydrogen. It is the most abundant element in the universe. Does not actually exist on Earth. It is my contention you need to breathe it first, one-on-one, and that's never happened, not even biblically speaking. It's two dudes, hyphenated, speaking to dudes. So you want me to go to your court where you don't court here? You don't care and follow through? You have no rear ear. You don't want to. You don't carry to. You don't contribute at face value. And I am meant to be regarded as a misread for visually believing my eyes that you are a parent and care to me to be? You're just going to wipe me off so that you can get on with your T-work-T? Work it Toft? Toft is the rich person. It's all hyphenated. And you're squatting on women. W with O-M-E-N-D. The date for completion. Is there anything else you would like to add to my investigation about you passing off so you can toot-toft and think you rate exponentially without any thieves?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure? Because I am live broadcasting this and I am making a video which I will submit in court.
Okay.
So can you verify with my investigation, was it thorough enough?
Yes, it was.
Is there anything that you feel is amiss?
No.
Did I misapply anything in my premise?
What are you talking about?
What do you think I'm talking about?
Ma'am, I've given you the court's number. I've given you the information you need. You have to take this to the court, to a judge. There's nothing else I can do for you, unfortunately.
Well, it's not unfortunately because you still make money whether you say anything at all, because it's all fiction to S-T-E-A-L-L, to the saint hyphen all, still all hyphen D, for competition. So understand, you still make money whether you have a presence of mind even or want to. Okay, we call that here, we call that thief end. Okay, So, tag, you're not it because you don't get it because you don't want it. And that's really how the tear weight falls. Your packaging is not a shallow read. You do not care at all. And yet, you landmark yourself in an organization for which you hyphenate, steal, and stall virtue where it would land and be informally a meal for the ally. Okay, you do not provide contribution, you do not provide connection, you do not provide completion. You stand in the way of it. Thiefend, you are taking away the face of grace from people that have stood for completion. You're taking thanks from people that desire to be here. We don't need your heir, H-E-I-R. That's fictional to repair your Bible of two dudes speaking to two dudes to go to court where you don't court here, even to be in contempt of court before Eve even gets to court, and to penalize further with a narcissism of this is for the people under God when you killed your fucking Christ and you don't give an honest shit one-on-one.
Information you need. You gotta take it to the court. I can't tell you anything else. I'm sorry. That's all I have for you. Okay?
All right. Well, would you please remember that when you think you have something to offer anyone else, you don't really have anything to offer.
All right. Good night.
There's laughing in the background. So, just so you know, this is totally a jerk-off thing. What's going on here, besides I get to put myself out and think this is really serious because there's a judge that is fudgy, fudge and pudge. Fudge is the DG. There's hyphens around that. That's the DeGratio, the thank God. Yeah, that's hyphenated. Let me tell you about dicks that work in the police department. Where do I start? Okay, growing up in Reno, Nevada, I would ride my bicycle, and there's the bicycle police, and I was being chatted up for being on my bicycle, so I went through a red light to get away from their shtick. I've had police call me on my phone to ask me out, unsolicited, and what I can hear on the other end, I can hear a little old lady asking the police officer, she's got a flat tire, can he help? And he's like, oh no, I'm busy taking a call. He's taking a call that I never solicited. I don't know how he got his phone number, and he's calling me to ask me out. Where else should we start? Well, Rich, you're a jackass, and I know that. I already knew that when you called the police. I don't think it's funny. You pulled me right back into this. I went there to give you a message in person because I thought it merited it. But what I can see is you're a jackass, you can't conceive, you can't conspire, and you can't consire. I do understand that. I do understand that the sheep has no desire. And you are the glue that holds the courts together of the law-st. And as I've said before, since I crossed the Delaware and you malfeasantly sup-p-Lie-d again a malfeasance fee, I stand presently to speak one-on-one. I thought I earned that. I brought my H as much as I can to the marketplace. And I'm thinking that that's very threatening for you because your whole market is 2x2. It tells me that by your maneuver. I'm pushing to not have this necessity to borrow a NAD. Okay, so let's understand the dynamics of manipulation and what I'm trying to unmanipulate. Your value as a man depends on squatting on women. And you have no value unless you look like you care even. But you don't care even and follow through, nor can you reduce your consciousness to load and unpack it. You can't do that on your own. So that's telling me you're standing in an image only to throw and thrown that's hyphenated. And those are the only two people that are communicating here. I have checked my other videos at this turning point of one, putting my single shingle in the marketplace of patron and having no patronage, and two, crossing the Delaware because I had a nifty idea I felt merited sharing in person, and that was the hexagon, the 666, the CIX. X is 1 and 0, it's time. I have to check this. Because we have lost broadcasting, open preference, assist, and we're on, but it hasn't picked up yet. Waiting for the saturated red bar. Let's talk to, what's his name? Yeah, you know what's interesting about Detective Smith is he's stuck right now. With all that Detective Smith was snickering in the background with probably Sabatini. Sounds like Italian sabotage. There was snickering in the background. That's great. You laugh all you want with your thieving mistakes, but the fact of the matter, you still go home and dome, fornicating your value. You can't relate, and I made that apparent on your pate and plate. So you sit there on your ass, Detective Smith, and you keep enjoying your hyphenated straight trait. Yeah, you're paying attention too. So not only did Detective Smith let me know that he was aware he got my email, which I figured that would happen. He's still trending. You're a jackass, and you did that by your own merit. Me-RIT. Oh, put a little W in that too. Me-W-RIT. So the hexagon is what the information I want to deliver in person. Remove the hyphens. You're getting out of the stiff context of thinking of others, okay? And that would liberate honest, pay, play, and lay. Love, A. I didn't get to deliver that message, and Rich's eye laid what he wanted to abide, which is his business as a b-ride. Now, I've already explained in previous videos, recently I've done quite a bit, that this has told me that, Hey, fuck you if you think you're wrangling me into your cauldron of virtue. I can take everything down. Because you're not being honest. Bring the time. Why do you feel you have to coalesce a working paradigm? Bring the time. Is that because Detective Smith can't do it, nor Detective Sabotage Sabatini, or Chief Bond, or Judge Horn, Horn-D? Bring your myth, M-I-T-H, myth, MY-TH-EM-AG-F-T. It's your gift, is to keep playing the same hyphenated foot, your magi. Yeah. So you want me to... So you're doing this on purpose, yeah. And I'm saying it's a myth, and it's hyphenated. Bring the time. Oh, stag. Come on, stag. I have staged a stag only part tie. And there's no takers. Honestly, by being a maker. There's only takers, okay? So you stand to penalize me again. Judge Horn or whoever, I'll be calling tomorrow to see if I can send you my emails if you missed my first memo, and see if you can't do your thorough investigation. If it is amelioration enough to end, I have no desire to visit your Malfeasant Delaware again. So take note. That would be my promise. And I am my word. You can't fault me on not ever being my word. That defines my whole motivation for what I'm doing. So excuse me when we talk about harassment, because you're posing an image you're not honestly pursuing. You're pursuing thief-end. So self-congratulate Detective Smith and shake hyphenated hands with Detective Sabatini and go pat the hyphenated H on Officer Carr, K-A-U-R, and Chief Bond, B-O-N-E-D, Doft, to Two Toft. You've got a lot of honestly explaining to my face what you hyphenated brought. See, the problem is with all you stags that are hyphenated, you could only stand with stags. And you can only stand on the stage that mitigates your hyphenated com man -d. And I know that. And respectfully, I don't have a shred of respect or shed of respect in the sense that you deserve IT, you didn't deserve VE-IT, you never vet the time by being it. And let's put it this way so that you understand what's going on here. I worked in a machine shop for a Christian. He had the daily bread in his foyer. They make parts for war and communication. Someone's on drugs on a lathe. I am told when I speak to men in the machine shop, where I was the first woman hire in the machine shop, I am told by them that they do not have proof. When I speak, they tell me that they don't have proof. And I'm like, you know what, all you hyphenated shims, S hyphen him hyphen S, shims and misses, you don't have proof. And I think I've clearly illustrated that. You standing for an image that you do not care to follow through, that you wipe me off in terms of patting your H as your path on your B hyphen rake hyphen D doft to two toft for no reason you ever sought or taught or cared to carry a low T, a lot, a time for completion actually. Oh, I'm packing and unpacking right where I stand. While you're buying up the land, there's nowhere for me to land. Honestly, even. Only fiefend. This is what you're passing down. So you get this machine shop that makes parts to protect their Jesus Christ by dowing with war. This is telling you right now, you in religion do not restore, you restore the sore, because you are the sore, and it's hyphenated to abort. You insulate the women that you're married to so that they don't have to see your sin 2 by 2. S hyphen INN, seen in, SCENE. Date for completion, because you're not the heir, and you should stop pretending that you care to be here. And that you carry value as if you ever cared here. And if you're not going to be present here, then please understand you don't really have the right to mitigate a presence there. Because I'm sure you have machine shops there that are making parts to let the BU-LL-ET be overshot, all hyphenated. You stand for fiction. You stand for parting hyphens, par hyphen T. You're passing doft because you are doft. Yet you are allowed to speak that you believe in God and the people under God. I'm saying that's really unique doftmanship in the sense that you are parlaying to a third person that is as stupid as yourself. As stupid as yourself to sell the L, the love, and to, in the same process, tell and cite you well, S-T-E, the saint, S, parentheses, T-E, L-L. You have not thought of anyone in follow-through. Not even two, and that's obvious. Your whole rigor of law-st is because you are the sub and stub. B, E, hyphen, A, hyphen, D, hyphen. You bed the Tao with war, and you wed doft. You wed your sister doft. You wed your mother doft. You wed your child doft. Okay? So you can always restore your law-st. And think that you're contributing without question, because you didn't ever bring anyone honestly among you.